Recognize this bike, you're probably 55 to 65 years old, and back when you were a kid, this Suzuki PE250 was a freedom machine. Back before you had back pain or neck pain, or you're overweight, or you had a huge mortgage, or a big alimony payment, or a bunch of ungrateful kids, or whatever it is that's getting you down now, and you can't find that happiness you had when you were a kid, and you could go out in the woods on this PE totally free with your smokes in your pocket, maybe a little bit of weed, and a couple sodas and a candy bar, and go out and ride in the woods all afternoon. Back when a much simpler time, when the biggest issue you had was, should I go take Sally out for the weekend, or Nancy out, or Tuesday? Who were you taking out this weekend? And did you have enough weed to make it through the weekend? And could you go out in the woods and ride your bike all the time? Back to that time. It's those days, let's face it, guys, those days are long gone, man. And now you got the mortgage, now you got the bills, now you got the back pain and the shoulder pain and the arthritis from years of abusing your body, and you're probably still smoking and drinking, and you're 55 to 65 years old, but for just 1 minute, you can go back to that time. It's a time machine. And maybe guys, maybe for more than a minute, maybe you can ride this out in the woods, and for 15 or 20 or 30 minutes, you can be that carefree kid once again. But there's only one way to know, guys. For me, this brings me back, man. This brings me back to the sand pits. It brings me back to the power lines. It brings me back to the old railroad tracks. Riding my bike 20 miles on the railroad tracks to go to McDonald's when I was 15 years old on my 79 RM100 Suzuki, or my 77 DT175 Yamaha with the lights on it. This is a freedom machine, guys. It was a motocross bike with lights on it. So you could rip down the railroad track, over the whoop-de-doos, through the woods, over the logs. You could race it on the motocross track. You could race it in enduros, or you could just ride it with your buddies through the woods to the lookout. Back to a much simpler time. That's what I see when I see this bike. What do you guys see? I don't know. Let me know if this does the same thing for you. And if it does, then you're probably 55-ish. Like I am. But the great freedom machine, guys. Super reliable two-stroke. God bless America.